Hello, my name is Melissa Daniels and I have strabismus. And in this channel, we talk all about solutions for fixing strabismus, going from an eye turn that's pretty severe to eyes that mostly work together. Maybe not perfect, but we're getting there. Right now, I am doing a series where you guys can ask me any questions that you want. You just leave them in the comments, send them through email, or however you like to communicate with me, and then I answer them through video. So today's question is all about virtual reality. Before we jump into that, make sure you go over to learn.strabismussolutions.com to get some of the resources that I offer. We've got a community, courses, you can schedule Zoom calls with me, and there's a bunch of free downloads and PDFs that can help you get going on your own strabismus journey. Okay, with that said, let's go to today's question. This question comes from YouTube, and it's user Gijo Jacob, I think, 4740. And the question says, "Hi Melissa, I'm from India and I have a lazy eye. I only have blurred vision because the VR games are expensive when combined with the price of MetaQuest 2. It stops me from spending so much money on games because there's no guarantee that it can improve my eyesight. So is there any free games or a long trial period game that I can try on the MetaQuest 2? I've tried the red Cyan 3D glasses, but the color is very disturbing." Okay, great question. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of tell you my interpretation just so that we can all be on the same page. I'm assuming we've got straight eyes and we've got one eye that's amblyopic and one eye that can see really well. And he is working on correcting that. It's super common for people with strabismus to not love red, green, or red, blue glasses. That's what he's saying with the red Cyan. It just can not feel so good in your body. So one suggestion would be that you could try polarized glasses and activities with like polarized exercises. They are much, much more expensive. So it's going to be an investment, but a lot of people prefer polarized 3D activities to red and green. They're just a lot more expensive. So if you're going to spend all the money on that, you may as well spend the money on a VR app. I don't know of any good VR apps that are free. There are some that are fun, and especially for someone with amblyopia, you need a specialized program that can actually kind of blur out what one eye is seeing so that it forces the weak eye, but you're both seeing some of the things. Like there's a lot of amazing technology. To get access to the great technology, you have to be willing to spend the money. Now, I know it seems expensive, but you can get a MetaQuest used. You don't have to have the newest, latest, greatest technology. I think the MetaQuest 3 is already out, so you would be fine with the 2. Find one used. That's where I've gotten mine, is on Facebook Marketplace, because we don't need tons of gigabytes of storage or anything like that for how people with strabismus are using a VR headset. So that can save you a couple $100 probably. Instead of spending $500 on the new one, find an old one for $200. It's becoming a lot more manageable. And then as far as the apps go, there's only a few different apps that are going to work for amblyopia that you would be able to access. Especially in India, there's going to be some like different restrictions. So Vivid Vision has to be through an optometry office, and I am almost positive there is not a provider in India. So you'd have to be going virtually with somebody from a different country. So Vivid Vision is kind of out. That wouldn't be an option. Optics Trainer is another one that can work for amblyopia. It's a little bit easier to get into, and I know that the owner is working to get a release of software that is like a public version that anybody can get access to. You don't have to go through a doctor. But again, to get the amblyopia settings, you have to do that through an optometrist so they can manage those amblyopia settings to make it so that each eye has to work. So that one you could go to any optometrist, especially like a vision therapy office, and say, "I'd like to do this program." They can talk with Josh, and it's pretty easy for them to all get that set up. It's a little bit, Vivid Vision is a little bit more like they have to download the software on their computer, and it's like a whole thing. It's a little bit easier to get Optics Trainer if you're wanting to do it through a doctor's office. And both Optics Trainer and Vivid Vision are going to be like a monthly subscription. So again, that's not necessarily cost effective. Probably the least expensive option is going to be to just invest up front on a program like Equal Eyes. Equal Eyes is a program that was created by a guy named Mark in Australia, who is amazing. And it is an app where you can control all those settings. And for someone with amblyopia, they can say, okay, it's my right eye is amblyopic. And then it automatically, there are several activities. Not every single one is for amblyopia, but there are quite a few that are specifically for amblyopia. And, you know, the strong eye can see part of the picture and the weak eye can see the other part, and you have to put them together. I think there's like 4 or 5 exercises like that. Good news with equal eyes is that you just buy it one time. So I think you spend about $150. You can use my code MDVR for 10% off. And if you do that, then maybe like $130-ish, and then you get it forever. You download the software onto your device, and then you don't have to pay monthly. So that is the most cost effective. I know it sounds expensive, and 10% off, maybe that's not something that you're like, oh, I need that. But I'm telling you, if you invest some money, save up your money and make it happen, you are going to be so much more dedicated and you are going to make it happen. If you just get it for free, you probably won't take advantage of it and use it in the same way that you would if you had to like really invest your time and money in it. So hopefully that answers your question. There isn't a free version. There isn't an unpaid, because those kinds of apps are really difficult to design and to maintain. And so you get what you pay for. The free apps that you're going to get on VR are going to be lower quality, and they definitely are not going to have the settings that are going to work for strabismus or amblyopia. And so in order to get that higher tier, higher level program, you're going to have to pay for it, unfortunately. So for me, the VR has always been so worth it, especially those programs that you get to keep forever, because you pay once and then you never have to pay for it again, and you have that forever, especially if, you know, you're a long-term patient like I am. So hopefully that answers your question. I wish I had better news for you, that there was some magical, amazing app that you could get for free, but, you know, take a lot of work. People have to get paid for their work, right? And I am more than happy to pay Mark so that he can keep creating amazing games and software for Strabismus, because he is doing an amazing job. And I want him, my goal is to send him enough people that he can quit his job and devote all his time to making Equal Eyes the greatest app for strabismus ever created. That's my goal. I think Mark's amazing. So definitely recommend that. Hope you guys are having a fantastic summer, and I will see you in the next video.